project. So how's it been for you so far?
It's been great. It's a fun team. It's been pretty easy to fit in, and the guys have been great. So, yeah, it's been great.
Does this move catch you off guard at all? I mean, just kind of maybe a little bit out of left field, maybe not something you may be expecting this season with the contract situation having a year left on your deal?
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really expect it at all. But fortunate to be a part of this team, and kind of it's a team that's had a chance over the last couple of years, and excited to be a part of it, and happy that they kind of came and got me and saw something in me.
I know something you've talked about in San Jose is just, not necessarily frustration with the record in terms of you guys just keep losing, you don't want to be around losing, but it can weigh on you, and you knew this team was close. How does your mentality change and just kind of lift your spirits a little bit in that confidence with a team that wins like Edmonton does?
Yeah, it's it's a different situation obviously for sure, but I said in San Jose that team's going to be good in a few years, and they got a lot of great pieces, but coming here, yeah, obviously different situation. It's kind of just fitting in for me. It's already a great team, and just kind of doing what I can to provide that little extra and fit in where I can. So I think it's been pretty easy so far.
You had said that you wanted to stay in San Jose, so was it disappointing that they moved you, or do you see it more like they moved you, but they moved you for a first-round pick, so it wasn't like a easy trade by any means?
Yeah, I mean, you know what, I'm really proud of where I am right now. I think all the kind of adversity that I've dealt a little bit in the beginning of my career kind of set me up for a time like this, and I think I'm kind of just getting started in my career now. I feel great, and lucky to be a part of this team. Fortunate, I was cheering for these guys last year in the playoffs, and to be a part of it now, I'm really excited and really happy to help.
Is it validating that a team like this wanted you, Stanley Cup team?
Yeah, it feels good. Obviously, to be a part of a team like this, it's kind of always what I wanted to be, and I've always talked about meaningful games, and that's what I have now. So excited. I played with some of these guys growing up, and to hear them kind of talk to me, text me right away after it happened. At the pro level, it's cool to see, and I feel like I'm fitting in pretty good.
By the way, why did you cheer for them last year?
I've known Connor growing up, and I'd say that's probably the main reason. He works his ass off and deserves to win. So I think we're all kind of pulling in the right direction. We're all trying to kind of figure out the same thing, and I'm just happy to try and be a part of that.
So they caused that extreme change, as a player, where you went from a team that's sort of at the bottom to a team that's going to go deep and potentially fight for the cup.
Yeah, it's a different mentality for sure. I think coming to the rink, just being a little more kind of with everything, a little more dialed in, a little more prepared. Not to say that guys aren't. It's just a different kind of mentality when you step into the room. It's a different feel. Guys kind of know what to expect, and yeah, like you said, totally different situation. But San Jose's for sure got the building blocks to do that. It's just, let's say this team is a couple steps ahead in that area, and you kind of know what to expect coming in, just being prepared, dialed in, and wanting to be good to kind of live up to those expectations that you have there in Edmonton.
And how do you compare the locker room atmosphere difference between this team versus the Sharks?
Yeah, well, a little older, obviously. I think the biggest thing is probably how familiar guys are with the position that they were in last year, and kind of knowing what it takes to get back there. I just, like I said, trying to kind of fit in without disturbing what's going on too much, and playing my role in what we got going here. And that's probably the biggest thing. I think the leaders at the front of this team kind of know. They lead by example, and just kind of that mentality. You see it, you can kind of feel it just when you're in the room. It's the expectation. You're just trying to want to prove everybody right.
What does that this team have, and maybe the Sharks need to get in order to sort of just climb the ladder here a little bit?
Well, I don't know. I've said it kind of all year that the team in there, the San Jose Sharks, have a lot of great pieces, and for me, it was a lot of fun to kind of see the direction of where that's gonna go in the next few years. And I don't know. I think there's a lot of things that need to go right to kind of build a team, and obviously it wasn't easy for the Oilers to get to this point. They had those years where they weren't making playoffs, and just takes time. I think learning how to play in those meaningful games, and that's kind of the steps that it takes. And I was kind of in that position with Detroit, where we were learning to kind of play those games at the end of the season and what it takes. And I think Edmonton's been at that point now 4, 5, 6 years now that they've kind of know what to expect in later in the season. And in the next couple of years, those are the games that the Sharks are going to be playing, battling for playoff spots and being a better team. So, yeah, that's probably what it is, just the expectation and knowing what it takes.
You played that one playoff game in St. Louis in the bubble there, but what have guys told you about what it's like in the playoffs, in that atmosphere, what that's going to be like for you?
Yeah, I'm sure it won't compare to the bubble playoffs, but yeah, the fans that we have in Edmonton is unreal. They travel really well too, and kind of on the road it feels like we're at home sometimes, and really excited. I just kind of walking around the city of Edmonton, even on non-game days, people are wearing Oilers jerseys and just really passionate and supportive of the team, and even everybody within the room and the team, management, everybody behind the scenes kind of really wants this team to win, and yeah, happy to be a part of it. Just really proud to be a part of it.
Had you gone into next year in San Jose, would you have been open to maybe re-signing there, knowing that it is a bit of a, they do think they have a bright future there, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always open for kind of anything. I leave my options open, and just kind of focus where we are at the point of my career, and wherever I am, just kind of putting 110% into the place that I'm at, and it was a quick turn for sure, but just kind of refocusing and kind of knowing what's the task at hand here, and yeah, just like you said, whatever, that'll all take care of itself. Just worry about playing good hockey.
Nice to get that first one.
Yeah, I've had some chances, and I've been feeling pretty good. So yeah, that was nice to go in.
What do you remember about that day in Denver? I mean, a lot of guys had already been traded. You're sitting there. I think you're just having lunch, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call from Michael. What's that like?
Yeah, like I said, I didn't expect it, but I was just trying to get ready for a big game against Denver, and the team that they have. So I was dialed in, and I've said it before, I was scrolling through TikTok on my phone like I always do during lunch, and I see Mike Greer called, so kind of only means one thing in the trade deadline, and had to kind of perk up right away and get out of the room and kind of get to a quiet place and listen.
What's your biggest takeaway from your time in San Jose? Only a few months, but what's your biggest takeaway?
You know what, it was a great time in my career. I think the trust that I had there, and the kind of opportunity that they gave me, always be grateful for that. The coaches were great with me. Orso, Hoods, those guys. I mean, they're working really hard behind the scenes to try and turn that team around, and they're extremely passionate. Wisey too. They're all pulling in the right direction. I think they have a lot of good pieces, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future. I texted some of those young guys when I left, and just kind of told them that those guys are going to be the leaders, and take this time to kind of learn, and hopefully I kind of rubbed off a little bit on them too. But excited to see where they go in the future.
Warzel said that you grew a lot this year. How did you grow, on and off ice?
Yeah, I think the role that I was in, maybe I had a similar role, I guess, in Detroit, but this one was a little more opportunity, I would say, kind of all over the ice. And yeah, I think just even me, I just turned 29, but I still maturing every day, and learning from older guys. Doesn't matter who, just taking pieces. And yeah, like Warzo said, I think I'm really hard on myself, so I think maybe at the beginning of the year, when stuff wasn't going well with our team, it was just harping, and just frustrated, but kind of learning how to deal with certain things, and being more of a mature kind of pro with whatever goes on inside the team. That's kind of, I think, maybe the off ice and a little bit of transitioning that to on ice. That's probably what he's talking about.